In the quaint coastal village of Eldridge, nestled between the rugged cliffs and the restless sea, there lived an old fisherman named Captain Jeremiah Blackwood. His weathered face told the tales of countless storms battled and vast oceans conquered. Captain Blackwood was a legend among the villagers, known for his unparalleled skill in fishing and his uncanny ability to navigate the treacherous waters that surrounded Eldridge. One fateful evening, a dense fog settled upon the village, casting an eerie veil over the shoreline. The air was thick with an otherworldly energy, and the sea whispered secrets only the bravest dared to decipher. The villagers, a superstitious lot, gathered at the local inn, sharing tales of ghostly apparitions and long-lost sailors who still roamed the coast. As the night wore on, Captain Blackwood joined the huddled group, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of the sea. He listened intently as the villagers spoke of the phantom ketch, a ghostly figure said to emerge from the depths, haunting the shores in search of something lost. Intrigued by the stories, Captain Blackwood couldn't resist the lure of the unknown. The next morning, he set out alone on his weather-beaten boat, the Seafarer's Grace, determined to unravel the mystery of the phantom ketch. The village watched in silence as the silhouette of the captain disappeared into the morning mist. The sea that day was calm, a deceptive tranquility that belied the supernatural forces at play. As Captain Blackwood cast his net into the water, he felt a shiver run down his spine, sensing an unseen presence beneath the waves. The fog thickened around him, and shadows danced on the surface of the water like spectral wraiths. Hours passed, and the captain's eyes never left the sea. Suddenly, the air grew colder, and the boat creaked as if bearing the weight of an unseen passenger. Captain Blackwood's weathered hands gripped the sides of the boat as a ghostly figure materialized before him. The phantom ketch, draped in tattered fishing gear, stared at him with vacant eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. The captain, unyielding in the face of the supernatural, spoke to the apparition. The phantom ketch remained silent but beckoned him to follow. Intrigued and undeterred, Captain Blackwood pulled up anchor and set sail into uncharted waters, guided by the ghostly figure that hovered over the bow. As they sailed deeper into the unknown, the sea transformed into a surreal dreamscape. The water glowed with an ethereal light, revealing an underwater city of lost souls. Ghostly fish swam alongside the boat, their translucent forms creating an otherworldly ballet. The captain marveled at the spectral beauty that surrounded him, feeling a strange connection to the underwater realm. The phantom ketch led Captain Blackwood to the heart of the city, where a grand palace of shimmering coral stood. In the throne room, an ancient spirit, the Sea Sovereign, awaited their arrival. The Sea Sovereign revealed the tragic tale of a once mortal fisherman who had become entwined with the sea's magic, cursed to wander the waters for eternity. Long ago, the fisherman had cast his nets too greedily, disrupting the delicate balance of the underwater realm. In punishment, the sea had claimed him, transforming him into the phantom ketch, destined to roam the waters until he could find a successor to carry the burden of his curse. Captain Blackwood, chosen by fate, was given a choice: to accept the mantle of the phantom ketch or return to the surface, forever bound to secrecy. The captain, driven by an unyielding spirit, chose to embrace the destiny that awaited him. As Captain Blackwood returned to Eldridge, the sea released its hold on the phantom ketch, who faded into the mist with a silent nod of gratitude. The village, unaware of the supernatural events that had transpired, welcomed their legendary fisherman back with cheers and applause. In the years that followed, Captain Blackwood continued to fish the waters of Eldridge, now accompanied by the spectral company of the phantom ketch. The two worked in harmony, the living and the dead, ensuring the delicate balance between man and the sea. Eldridge became a haven for those who sought the mystical connection between the living and the afterlife. Fishermen from distant shores told tales of the legendary captain who sailed alongside a ghostly companion, a testament to the enduring bond forged between the mortal realm and the mysteries of the deep. And so, the legend of Captain Jeremiah Blackwood and the phantom ketch lived on, a unique tale whispered among the waves and shared by those who dared to believe in the supernatural wonders that lurked beneath the surface of the sea. Story 2. Once upon a time in the small coastal town of Eldridge, there lived an old fisherman named Captain Silas Dawson. Captain Dawson had spent his entire life on the waters, braving storms and reeling in the largest catches. His grizzled appearance and weathered hands told tales of countless hours spent battling the relentless sea. However, as time passed, the sea claimed more than just his physical strength. It took his beloved son, Jonah. It was a dark and stormy night when the tragedy occurred. The sea roared with fury, waves crashing against the fishing boat as Captain Dawson and his crew fought desperately to keep it afloat. But the sea was merciless that night, swallowing Jonah whole, leaving behind only the haunting echoes of a father's cries. From that night onward, Eldridge became a town shrouded in sorrow, with Captain Dawson's grief casting a heavy shadow over the once vibrant community. As the years passed, the townsfolk whispered about strange occurrences on the waters. Fishermen spoke of ghostly apparitions drifting along the shoreline, eerie lights dancing on the waves, and an otherworldly presence that sent shivers down their spines. Eldridge earned a reputation as a haunted fishing town, and Captain Dawson's name was synonymous with the supernatural. One moonless night, a young and ambitious fisherman named Samuel set out to prove the stories wrong. Determined to uncover the truth behind the mysterious happenings, Samuel prepared his boat for a night of fishing in the heart of Eldridge's haunted waters. The townsfolk warned him, recounting the tales of Captain Dawson's grief and the spectral sightings that haunted the coastline. Undeterred, Samuel sailed into the darkness, armed with only his lantern and an unyielding curiosity. The sea was calm, but the air felt heavy with unseen forces. As Samuel cast his nets into the inky blackness, he heard whispers carried by the wind, a ghostly chorus of voices that seemed to mourn the loss of a son. Unfazed, Samuel dismissed the sounds as mere figments of an overactive imagination. The night wore on, and Samuel's catch was bountiful. Yet, the eerie atmosphere persisted. Suddenly, a pale light flickered on the horizon, drawing nearer with each passing moment. Samuel squinted into the darkness, his heart pounding in his chest. As the light approached, a ghostly figure materialized, the unmistakable silhouette of Captain Dawson. "Who dares intrude upon my waters?" Captain Dawson's voice echoed, a mournful melody that sent shivers down Samuel's spine. Summoning his courage, Samuel explained his quest to uncover the truth behind the haunted tales of Eldridge. Captain Dawson listened intently, his spectral gaze fixed upon the young fisherman. "Your heart is pure, young one," Captain Dawson intoned, his voice a mixture of sorrow and acceptance. "But the sea demands a price, and once paid, it claims all who dare to challenge its secrets." With those words, the ghostly light expanded, enveloping Samuel and his boat. The world around him transformed into a dreamscape, a realm suspended between the living and the afterlife. Captain Dawson's spectral form guided Samuel through memories of that fateful night, revealing the depth of a father's love and the tragedy that bound him to the sea. As dawn approached, Samuel found himself back on his boat, the ghostly apparition of Captain Dawson fading into the first light of day. The sea, once calm and mysterious, now seemed serene, as if the spirits that haunted Eldridge had found solace through Samuel's journey. Word of Samuel's encounter with Captain Dawson spread throughout the town, and Eldridge began to heal from the wounds of the past. The once haunted waters became a source of comfort rather than fear, as fishermen embraced the idea that their departed loved ones lingered in the gentle waves. Samuel continued to fish the waters of Eldridge, sharing the story of Captain Dawson's love and the redemption found within the depths of the sea. The town, once gripped by sorrow and superstition, flourished once again, and the haunting tales that had defined Eldridge became a distant memory. Legend had it that on quiet nights, when the moon hung low and the sea whispered its ancient secrets, the ghostly figure of Captain Dawson could be seen standing on the shore, watching over the fishermen and guiding them through the waters he once called home. Eldridge had found peace, thanks to a brave young fisherman who dared to uncover the truth behind the haunting waters. Story 3. It was a misty autumn evening on the shores of Lake Serenity, a secluded and serene body of water surrounded by dense woods. The trees stood tall, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, and the moon cast an eerie glow on the water's surface. The air was thick with an otherworldly stillness, broken only by the distant cry of a loon. Nestled on the edge of the lake was the small fishing village of Willowbrook. Its residents had long relied on the lake for their livelihood, their days spent casting nets and lines, hoping for a bountiful catch. Among them was old Captain Jonah Grimes, a weathered fisherman with a salt and pepper beard that matched the color of his tattered hat. Legend had it that, decades ago, Captain Grimes had been the most skilled fisherman in the village. His boat, the Serenity Queen, was famous for returning with the largest hauls, and the villagers relied on him for their livelihoods. However, one fateful night, the captain set out alone, driven by rumors of a mystical, untouched fishing spot hidden deep within the lake. As the story goes, Captain Grimes never returned. His boat was found adrift, empty of life, and his absence left a void in Willowbrook. Some believed he had encountered a vengeful spirit haunting the depths of Lake Serenity, punishing those who sought to exploit its secrets. Years passed, and the legend of Captain Jonah Grimes faded into a ghostly whisper among the villagers. But one chilly October evening, a young fisherman named Ethan Bryce arrived in Willowbrook. Drawn by tales of the lake's unparalleled bounty, he sought out the remaining elders who remembered the old captain's tales. Ignoring the warnings and shivers that accompanied the mention of Captain Grimes, Ethan prepared his boat, the Whispering Gale, for a midnight expedition. He was determined to uncover the secrets of the haunted fishing grounds and claim the fabled catch that had eluded so many. As Ethan sailed into the heart of the lake, the mist thickened, and the air grew colder. The moon shrouded itself behind dark clouds, casting an ominous glow on the water. Unfazed, Ethan cast his net into the inky depths, waiting for a sign that he had found the elusive fishing grounds. Minutes turned to hours, and just as doubt began to creep into Ethan's mind, he felt a sudden tug on his line. The boat rocked as if caught in a tempest, and Ethan's eyes widened with excitement. The legends were true, the phantom catch was within his grasp. As Ethan struggled with the unseen force on the other end of his line, a ghostly figure emerged from the depths. It was Captain Jonah Grimes, his eyes hollow and his spectral form ethereal. The captain's voice echoed through the mist, warning Ethan of the consequences of his greed. "You dare disturb the slumber of the lake's guardian," Captain Grimes intoned, his voice a haunting melody. "For your arrogance, you shall join me in the watery abyss." Fear gripped Ethan's heart, but he fought against the supernatural force, desperately trying to reel in the catch that had ensnared him. The struggle between the living and the dead played out on the dark waters of Lake Serenity, the moon bearing witness to the unfolding spectral drama. As the battle raged on, a mysterious fog enveloped the boat, distorting reality and blurring the lines between the living and the afterlife. The whispers of lost souls echoed in Ethan's ears, and shadows danced along the surface of the lake like wraiths performing an otherworldly ballet. In the midst of the chaos, the water itself seemed to come alive, forming ghostly hands that reached out to claim Ethan. The lake sought to reclaim its secrets, and Captain Grimes, the guardian of its mysteries, fought to maintain the delicate balance between the world of the living and the realm of the supernatural. Ethan, now realizing the gravity of his actions, pleaded for mercy. "I seek only to understand and share in the abundance of the lake. Spare me, and I will return to Willowbrook, never to disturb these waters again." Captain Grimes regarded Ethan with hollow eyes, his ghostly form flickering in the moonlight. After a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, the captain nodded slowly. The spectral fog lifted, and the unearthly grip on Ethan's boat loosened. "You have been warned, young fisherman," Captain Grimes intoned. "Take what you have learned, but remember the price of greed. The lake's secrets are not for the faint of heart." As the mist cleared, Ethan found himself alone on the tranquil waters of Lake Serenity. The phantom ketch, once a symbol of his ambition, was nowhere to be found. With a heavy heart, he sailed back to Willowbrook, haunted by the encounter with the guardian of the lake. From that night on, Ethan became an advocate for preserving the sanctity of Lake Serenity. He shared his harrowing tale with the villagers, warning them of the consequences of seeking forbidden knowledge. The legend of Captain Jonah Grimes and the Phantom Ketch took on a new meaning, serving as a cautionary tale for those who dared to challenge the mysteries of the deep. And so, the small fishing village of Willowbrook learned to coexist with the guardian of Lake Serenity, respecting the delicate balance between the mundane and the supernatural. The waters, once feared and revered, returned to their tranquil state, hiding the secrets of the Phantom Ketch beneath the moonlit surface, a testament to the mysteries that lay beyond the reach of mortal hands.